Welcome back to Factorio Seablock TSM episode, oh good grief, 45 possibly? I don't know exactly where to start. Alright, let's start with, during the time we were mucking around last episode, the iron ore train is actually filled up. We have an iron ore train full of 16k of iron ore. And there's a bit here now. There's another 3.5k waiting for us. I think we're still a little bit of distance away before a copper train is ready, but that is at least a good sign. So I think we have at least improved a little bit the mineral sludge rate that we are getting. So that is a good start. Now, the problem is we are running very low on mineralized water, kind of as expected, because we know we need more of these columns. And the other issue seems to be that, well, I thought it was an issue, but maybe it's not. Sulfuric wastewater didn't seem to be being processed through here fast enough, because that's constantly 200, although it's sort of not anymore. So I built a Mark III hydro plant. Maybe I don't even need it anymore, but we'll put it there anyway. You can see it's going quite a bit faster, to the point that we are now actually waiting on purified water to exit. That should result in a reduction of what comes through this machine. Perhaps a greater number of sulfur being produced. No, the purified water is really causing some hold up there actually at this point. I guess the other thing I can do is make these the Mark II machines. A little bit to build, since it's building a Mark 1, then a Mark 2. I might wait until the... Actually, I can even build a Mark 3 chemical plant. Oh no, that's an advanced chemical plant. We don't need the advanced chemical plant. A normal chemical plant will be fine. Is that any noticeably better? It can't really output to this one any faster. This one at least shouldn't take quite so long to build. There it is. So now we have sulfuric acid being made slightly faster. We still have a purified water issue. Hopefully that resolves itself. Okay, so I don't want to muck around with that stuff. That's boring. Hydrogen keeps looking like it's going to clog everything and then doesn't quite. This one is just about ready to go. That's fantastic. I think it's time to sort out our iron ore. Actually looks like a few of our processes have all but ground to a halt over here. Not really sure why. Not even sure which processes have actually ground to a halt. Iron is actually catching up. That seems very strange. Well, down here there's absolutely no iron, so who knows? I do think we need to flood the system with iron and steel. We have a healthy 4k of this stuff. This stuff. So that's all to the good. I think what we need to do is this one and this one are dedicated to the iron. I think what we'll do is we'll basically just rip them out. That's staying steady at 1k. That's very interesting. I think we'll just rip these guys out. And that's interesting too. This is where the hydrogen comes in. Maybe I could get a feeder line off this below where the hydrogen needs to park. Plenty of room, which could provide the iron ore a place to go and eventually the copper ore as well. But before we get there, let's start ripping this up. Yeah. Let's rip all of that up. And all of that up. And probably the water as well. I don't particularly want your slag. I might do something like that just to get rid of a bit of slag. We're going to run out of space here soon. Prefer not. Small electric pole. We don't really want small electric poles. Oh, these robots are terrible. Keep forgetting that. Alright, get rid of the slag. They don't appear to be able to do anything. The dependence on getting rid of the copper. Guys, come on. This is really taking too long. Oh, I can't carry any more of those. Do I have another RoboPort on me? Doesn't look like it. Can build one though. Alright, let's do it. It might be worth it. I don't want slag inserted, guys. Not going to be able to get the RoboPort either, am I? Still didn't get the RoboPort. We got filled up with slag instead. RoboPort, awesome. Let's put it there. Let's throw some robots into it and give them a box. Turn off mine because they're just being a pain. More slag. Oh, I see why these have so many. That does make sense. How much of I kind of want to use a bit of this area to be that slow. I've even got geodes on me. I'm not that much of a fan of having geodes on me. Let's just pop them on here. Z to drop it. I have so few, they're taking up a whole space in my inventory for no good reason. They'll eventually get in there and get processed out. At least that gives me a small amount of space. Now what I might do is actually grab another 100 or so robots just to help out up here, because we seem to be bogged down already and we've hardly even started making progress. I know we have robots down here somewhere. Spent so long making them in the first place. Here we go. Robots. Okay, let's get 100. Bit of luck, that will fire something else up into action and maybe will generate or burn up a little bit of the slag that seems to be getting in the way. There you go, another 100. To do a slightly better job of this, I guess we can pick up these stupid things that we put down here now. Reef, there's a lot of slag in these still. So, I kind of ideally want quite a bit of the space that we're getting here. We don't need these guys. We only need these sorts of machines, of which I really should have already built some processes for building these. Maybe that's what I should quickly do while this continues to try and clear up here. This one's actually just about done, which is quite good. Drop 200 slag in there just to give it something to think about. Oh. That's why it appears to be just about done. Yes. That's not going to work particularly well. Okay. So, I think, for starters, are you done? Not quite. You still have a bunch of stuff to get rid of. So somewhere down here I can dump some slag. Where's the stone brick being made? In there. You need slag. There you go. Have some slag. a lot more. Yeah, you can have that. Takes a while, doesn't it? Okay, we'll have to put the rest somewhere else. Maybe in there. Okay, that's gotten rid of the slag, more or less. Seems to be a waste of time. Yes, we are getting rid of all of these, so there's no point to you coming up here, slag. Absolutely no point. Might as well just stop there. Oh, that means I've got more slag to get rid of course. Go in there. What are you up to? 82, 157, 1. Come on. You guys can do better than this. What's this building? Steel pipe. I think that was a special build for some reason, some specific reason. It may not currently exist. Maybe I should get rid of some of the sand. I think the train is going to have to be on this side. I might just run this up a little bit. The general idea of finding a location. 1, 2, 3, 4. So anywhere from sort of here is perfectly good, really. Okay, so we need a request to stop. Four, awesome. Now, hydrogen. At least we are burning some because we kind of need to, otherwise the other process will shut down. Do I want to load... What do I want to load? Do I want to load into a warehouse? Then unload from a warehouse. We could see what that would look like. Warehouse, what would we need? We'd need some iron plate and some steel plate. Look. Where's a nice collection of iron? Here. Iron plate and steel plate. Okay, we can build a warehouse. Now, maybe I should set it up so that the warehouse can be loaded by both trains. Rather than... both carriages, I mean. Rather than worrying about equalisation. Or those sort of things. Awkward on that side. We could move that pipe, though. And that might be what we should do. Let's just temporarily get rid of it. Oh, it's got this tint here. And the pipe... The pipe is going to need a little bit more space there. And a little bit more space here. Which may prove useful in a second as well. Anyway. These are fast stack inserters, so... That looks like it gets in, so that should work to fill it up. And I don't know why. I thought this was like what's inside, but it doesn't have anything inside it, so it should look empty. So I might be totally confusing myself there. Now what I want to know is exactly how many iron ore, or rather the processed iron ore, how many can go in here per whatever time frame, to give me some idea of how many of these we actually need. It looks like it takes 8 processed iron, and the crafting time is 4 seconds, and you get 24 ingots out. That's 6 ingots per second if you have it fed to the max, 6 ingots a second. Two is 12 ingots a second. This is way not being fed to the max, as you can see. So maybe I could get away with like just 2 machines. I'm hoping these guys have completely run out. No. Oh, you need 5 slag, so that's what, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Enough for one more. Gone now? Yes. Going up anywhere. This is for now. Slag, slurry, purified water. We don't need you over here anymore. Oh, alright. Robots, you've got a job to do here, please. Get rid of all of that. And the next job is to get rid of this stuff. Actually, let's not touch those. We won't need this anymore then. Probably don't need that. We don't need this part. Don't need that. It's true, we don't need this either. That. Don't need that. Don't need any. Hang on. Stop. We are going to get rid of this soon, but not quite yet. So, how much can you actually feed out? Every 2 seconds you can make, every 1 second you can make 1. This thing can use 2 a second, so you need 2 of these for 1 of these. And I want at least 2 of these, don't I? For the very short term, shall we just double up these and see if we feed it enough so that 2 of these are constantly busy? Would that do? Processing ore processing machine Mark 1. Cannot place inserters. Good grief. You can just drop that there. Thank you very much. More inserters that can't be placed. Oh, they could be placed. Where are these other ones that vanished? Somewhere in here. Okay. How much iron ore do you actually need? You need 2 a second each. It's only 4 a second. That's not even much. It only makes 6 ingots a second, though. So I have my doubts this is going to be enough. Why are you in my way? Right, we'll go through here. This is just to get the process up and running. That's what I'm going to tell myself. And we will use, I don't know, a fast inserter. Probably don't need fast inserters, to be honest, but we will use them anyway, something like that. Now, use these awesome medium poles. One extra tile that way. It all would work. Or we can come to here. What about over here? Let's go over there. We need a request lamp here. Inventory full. Request lamp. Do I have... Yes, I do actually. Okay. That's very good. Let's make a... We don't need one. We already have one. Be the easiest setup in the world. That's all we need to do. To there, to there, to there. Basically, let's order a train whenever we get below... say 8,000 iron ore. Iron ore is less than this. When we have less than half of one train, less than half a train, we will order. So if trains on the way is less than P, then we want the iron ore recipe to be supplied. And look, it's coming already. Here it is. I don't know how good the... Still a long way from picking one up. They can't unload fast enough. Stack inserters aren't particularly well bonused yet. We could probably easily make this yellow and accommodate a yellow. Oh, you don't have any power. Now, you need to be able to get... No, you don't. Only you need the coal. Here we come, boys. And girls. We don't discriminate here. Boys and girls, here we come. This setup looks pointless, doesn't it? Now let's just make sure. Yep. Consistent, constant running. This one is after 8, and for 8 it's just going constantly. That's what we need. I do think this is spread a little bit too thin with just one. And we probably don't really need the fast inserters up there, but whatever. Now, are you going continuously? No, you are not. You're not too far off, but you're not quite there. You, of course, need those silicon ingots. And I doubt steel is going continuously either, because it's waiting on 24. Yeah. So I know it's not quite enough to feed our current capacity. It's certainly better than it was. Let's have a look, see what it's doing to our line. That is a more consistent line. Given how weak this is anyway, I would really rather prefer to... It's still dying. Still dying way too soon. Yeah, it's not enough. It's not nearly enough. We didn't do all that work just to get this. Interesting that the back was a little bit less full. Now, this is set up as able to pick up from empty trains or an empty. Oh, this one. Oh, that's the hydrogen. Oh, we need to signal this. We definitely don't want that situation. It's important that the trains can come and go as they need to. And that one. Those and one of those coming out. And the rest of it's good enough. Yes, that would be a little bit of a folly. How are we doing? We're at 14k. We probably are making this faster than we're burning it, so that at least is one thing. So yeah, as I was saying, so I made it an empty train concept so that we can use... Oh, it doesn't even call itself iron. We need to fix that. Square brackets, how silly of me. You need to be square bracket. What about you? Never gave you a name. So this is already up to half a train. So we can definitely increase the draw on it over what we have here. How would we reorganize it if we did? Kind of feel like I would want two of these, probably one feeding here directly. Steel. In fact, I don't even think one going into steel is enough. I think steel probably needs to be two. Two, not one. And if this is going continuously now, is that what we said it was? No, it's not going continuously. It's not actually that far off. What are we going to do about the silicon? There was a time when there was so many silicon ingots that it was backed up. I had to put this in. Now not so much. Now we're waiting on the silicon. At least when that happens, oh, this is actually getting used. That's good. But it's still not enough. Given the lack of silicon, I mean, this is probably fine, but it's just a little side thing, really. It was a side thing to burn off excess silicon. We need another one of these. Steel is still way too slow. I doubt even dedicated iron to steel would make any difference because 24 ingots become 6 steel. Let's have a look at steel recipes. Steel ingots. So that's the one. That's the only one we've got. We can add silicon to it. That actually would be much better than doing this once we have this recipe, which we don't have yet. We can add... We're not going to get a lot of cobalt steel. We need so much steel. I think I could easily have create 4 steel blast furnaces. And they need, what? 24 iron ingots every 4 seconds. How much does one of these produce? 24 every 4 seconds. Okay, so we need 4 of these fed by 4 of these. And then another 4 just for creating iron. And when these things are going fairly strong, they take... Every 4 seconds they make 120 molten. 120 molten every 4 seconds. So actually, if it was fed continuously with enough, you'd need 3 of these, not just 2. Would mean we'd need to move the whole lot up, but we should be able to. Maybe I should take... I think the most important thing is this doesn't slow down for anything. Maybe this should be tied into here and prioritized just to clear it, rather than doing this. It would be quite good to see if... no, copper is still king. How is steel going? Is there any sign that steel is actually caught up? I have to say no. Basically no. Yeah, basically no. Alright, that's the plan then. We'll have to belt ingots between machines. But the plan is... Have I got a constant combinator? No, let's make one. The plan is 4 steel ingots. Ingots. It's a silver. It's steel. Steel ingot. Why do they put it in here? Okay, that is going to be 4. 4 steel ingots. To make 4 steel ingots, we need 4 iron ingots plus 4 iron ingots equals 8 iron ingots. That's the plan. That needs 16 ore processing machines. Six. This column's not even moving. There you go. I guess it does eventually. And these guys all take from the bottom rung as well, it looks like, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We've only got one rung moving. 12k. 8.7, 13k copper. So yes, what I was saying before, so we're using the empty trains so that this one here, for example, which I've kept on stealing all the iron from, so iron's not a particularly good example, but this one here can actually have this move to a more convenient spot, and then trains can come into here and pick up the iron or copper. With priority, because if this fills up, it will block sciences, which are still not really running at all. You need Invar. Is there any possibility of some of these plates getting past you? It doesn't look like. Another good reason to multiply steel by 4. I don't. If I haven't really given the impression already that I didn't really want to get to the point of actually doing the extra bit, then yeah, that's that's kind of where this chat was going. Was we do need to plan what we're trying to do. I think that's probably a reasonable plan. Let me check production over a minute. In particular, iron ore. We're producing... Come back. 30 odd. We are consuming at the moment 200 and... Is that for real? 240. Wow. Iron plates, we're producing 140. And we are consuming... I can't see where the iron plates are. $60 odd. So we're actually making more iron plates than we're consuming. I guess that's borne out. But we need steel to be ramped up if that was to be a worthwhile thing. That's a hell of a lot of ingots for steel. Silicon and steel recipe would really help to multiply steel. Of course, the other thing we could do is produce manganese, which seems to be an excuse to go with anything and everything. That could be another way of doubling down on the steel. I think there's a steel and manganese recipe. That's the cobalt steel one. So there's Invar, ton of steel. Cobalt, also a ton of steel. Cobalt steel. Steel itself is okay. Steel and silicon doubling up steel. Steel and manganese, which you also get with steel smelting too, doubling up steel. That is an interesting one. If we have excess nickel and cobalt, which for a while we will, we can make a ton of molten steel. That may well be worth doing, but you can't get to it until Advanced Smelting 3. Oh, it needs production science, yeah. That's, I'm guessing that's the equivalent of production science. That's a ways off. And no idea whether that's a good idea or not. Alright guys, since I'm not actually going to build to this plan today, I'm actually starting to wonder if I need to, since look at iron now. I'm just being silly, of course I need to, we don't have enough steel. Even if it was only the steel side that I significantly ramped up, we certainly need the steel, even if we don't need the iron multiplied. That invar happening. Oh, we're up here. Let me just check on the invar. So you need nickel. You need more steel than you need anything else. So the nickel's just getting worse and worse, I think. Sort of okay at the moment. It's not holding anything up yet. But the lack of invar is. So maybe we just multiply steel by 4. And just this one doesn't even need to feed the steel anymore. Something like that. Anyway, I'm really happy we now have the iron up and running. Next episode, we'll probably do it to copper as well as, well, we'll build out the steel at least in the manner described. Yeah, we're just about ready for a copper train here, so I'll probably set up a copper train. I might even do that between episodes. It will work just like the iron one. We also need a radar over here. Maybe I'll even... where is my... down here? Yeah, do I have a radar on me? Doesn't look like it, does it? I can actually make radar 3s now. Is that worth doing? I think I'll just make a radar 2. Difference having enough resource makes. Okay, manual. We want to put a radar just there. In fact, none of these radars are revealing anything particularly scary. Radar, there you go. And then just take me back down here. Can't do it. Right. We'll have to back up. Now let's see if it can do it. Yes. Yeah, so as I'm saying, we will create a situation with an empty copper ore and a copper ore supply up here. One of these ones, probably that one maybe. And copper ore here, I will... It kind of doesn't look like we need to do it with the iron, so maybe I'll just do it with the steel. We'll multiply steel, so there's effectively direct feed by 4 iron smelters into at least 4 of these guys. Hopefully that will get the invar and things happening a whole lot better. Anyway, thanks for joining me, and I look forward to seeing you in the next. Bye-bye for now.